Are we on to a Wombats Fortnitely news? I think
Yes.
you were talking about Fortnite
Yes.
or something.
Yes. I played Fortnite today in your honor, actually, Wombat. I wanted to
Did
check.
you really?
I wanted to check out because I saw your item here about Fortnite OG. So I figured I wanted to check what Fortnite OG was and just to see what the old map looked like with the new graphics.
And it looks good. It's not fully upgraded, which I know they did that on purpose because people, it's towing that line of a full remaster of the old map, and having it still look like the old map. So like the trees don't look as good as they probably could, and
I didn't notice much difference. Yeah,
and the grass is just kind of flat on the ground there.
I finished 5th, by the way, in my one match as RoboCop.
Nice.
As RoboCop in Fortnite.
And RoboCop's probably better in Fortnite than in the RoboCop game.
He runs faster, a lot fucking faster.
I bet. So, I took the day off on Friday so I could be ready for the launch of the Fortnite OG season. It was very exciting. For those who are wondering, over 44 million people played Fortnite over the weekend.
Wow.
With over 6 million concurrent players at one point, which is a bananas amount of people to play any game.
Ship's got his wide awake glasses on.
I know. Fine.
It is.
There's a lot to talk about, but I'll wrap it up because clearly no one cares.
The interesting part for sure is that they've been able to take this game and keep the player base, like, I don't know how intact it is from its peak, but at least they got him to come back. They got him to come back, at least for this. Like, it's pretty impressive.
That's what I'm saying. 6 million people is the most people that have ever been on the game at one time.
So that's amazing.
So
that's
it's
huge.
it is the peak.
Okay, that's amazing.
This is peak Fortnite, quite literally.
Right.
This is where I feel like Shipwreck might find this interesting to talk about it from not necessarily the game of Fortnite, but more of the video game industry as a whole, where, it was around a year ago where Epic was like, we're going to launch, the revamped creative mode for Fortnite. This is where our energy is going to start. They didn't quite say it like this, but they kind of hinted this is where our energy is going to go. They wanted to compete with the Robloxes of the world and steal that audience.
They wanted a store inside.
Yeah, they wanted
Fortnite that they didn't have to build the content for.
But what they also did is they offered the creators of these creative mode levels an exorbitant amount of money to build there instead of building elsewhere. And it was based on player amounts. You didn't even have to spend money for these people to get paid out. So they were spending way more money than they probably should have to entice these creative, and it worked. They got all these people playing creative, not me. I'm not into it. And what also happened was the people like me who liked the Battle Royale were kind of annoyed because they weren't really focusing on it much anymore. And that player base dropped. And as we talked about a couple of weeks ago, they wound up laying off 800 people and they started to lose money really for the first time. I think that's sort of why you're seeing this Fortnite OG where they're saying without saying, we may have made a mistake with where we put our focus. So here's the original map back. We're going to have another, they haven't done a live event in over a year. And
right.
GP, I know even you went to a handful of those live events. Like those were like a thing. It was fun. It was the buildup of the season. It was, trying to create something out of this, which essentially is just a regular battle royale game. They were able to make it feel like it was more than that. And they got rid of that.
It's interesting when when I logged in today, and I hadn't logged in a really long time, the interface is totally different now, and you can see it's the focus now. I mean, I didn't even scroll through it, but now there's so much to scroll through. Like it's zoomed out. Everything is zoomed out because there's obvious. I guess it's all creator stuff that's there because I can just see like. It doesn't look like any, I guess that's what Roblox probably looks like when you log into Roblox. It's just zoomed out. There's like so many boxes that you can go to just to get in all these different game modes. Unlike like Apex Legends or something where it's like, nothing. Like you have like two choices.
The one mode. Exactly.
Yeah. So it was interesting to see that change.
They're really leaning into this creative thing, and I don't think it's helping as much. I mean, they want their cake and eat it too. They want to have their hands in many pies, and I get it. I mean, you want to they're a business. They want to make money, but I think they
Epic.
also exactly. We'll get to that more of that later anyway, in a second. But it's interesting because I do also think that they learn the hard way that they can't just ignore the battle royale, because once they brought back, or and gave the real inclination, like, no, we're focusing on this again, 6 million people.
That's what I always say, man. That's what I always say. Battle Royale is still where it's at. It's still make it happen.
If it's done well.
If it's that's hard.
And that's the hard part.
Should we go right to, we'll just say that Epic Game Stores, we learned that the Epic Game Store is still losing money. I guess there's the Google trial going on now, and they're still losing money because they give out so much, they're giving out all these free games still. So much money they're spending.
Yep.
So Ship finished Spider-Man 2. I want to hear about that.
I did. I played through Spider-Man 2 with Dash. It is a very good Spider-Man game. So no surprise there. I think like the new mechanics of being able to glide, getting around, like it's a new twist on what was already fun to get around the city. The city is slightly bigger than the last time. I don't know how much bigger, but it's obvious that it's bigger. The story, though, is, I don't think, as engaging. Like, it's still really good for a video game story, but I think like the original Spider-Man that had Mr. Negative, which was not a storyline that has been done like a ton, right? Like, it was kind of new and fresh, and then the Miles Morales one with the Tinkerer was also like not a standard story of Spider-Man. And then this one is a little bit more like we've tread this ground a lot. Like, it's mixed up a little bit, but it's like, I don't know, like the Craven stuff is very much just like, here's Craven, he likes hunting things.
What else is there? What else is there?
Hunt Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's the most dangerous game.
Right. And then here's the symbiote. Is it good or bad?
It's bad. I bet you it's bad.
Yeah, why is Spider-Man saying mean things? So
does he do the dance?
It's still really well done. It's just like it feels like they could have been a little bit more creative with some choices on characters and stories to tell in this one.
Maybe they should have made it in Poland.
I don't know if that's the answer, but like, it's still like, as far as like video game storytelling goes, it's still like top tier. It's just like, I've obviously read a lot of Spider-Man. I've watched a lot of Spider-Man. I know all the beats quite well. I like it when it's mixed up at this point, and they mix it up a little bit, but not. There's not enough unique there to like really hook me of like, oh, what's gonna happen next, or like where there was in the first two games, like with Mr. Negative and the Tinkerer, is a little bit different. That said, it's one of the top games of the year. Like,
I think
it's really good.
Yeah, I think where Mr. Negative worked is that he was a good bad guy that wasn't extremely well known.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of worked. Whereas you say Craven the Hunter, I'm like, oh yeah, I know who that is.
Yep.
Although
you know all of his motivations. You know
there is the Craven the Hunter movie coming out, so
I know, and I understand.
So bad. It looks.
I understand how there would be tie-ins, and people like this game would tie into that. And there was an ad for this game before I watched the new Spider-Verse movie, right? Like, popped in the Blu-ray for that and got an ad for this game. So like, Sony's hitting Spider-Man hard, and they are not afraid to tie all the different media properties together in that way. But it's really good. It feels like they might need to take a little bit of a break before the next one, simply because the mechanics are very much the same, like
I
combat.
think aren't they? Well, they. I would hope, or maybe just assume that they're going to focus on that Wolverine game now.
Right.
So that could be a break to go from Spider-Man to Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine can't swing or fly.
Nope.
He just walks around. He's like RoboCop.
But he is the best at what
He's
he
faster
does.
than RoboCop.
He's best at what he does is walking around.
He's just let's say RoboCop but shorter, and he drinks and smokes.
Mhm.
Right. Like I that one's going to be an interesting one because I don't know how you make that an open world game unless you just put him on a motorcycle to get everywhere.
RoboCop could have used a motorcycle, by the way, in this game for sure.
Or you just
RoboCop didn't have a motorcycle.
Not everything needs to be huge open worlds.
Doesn't RoboCop have a motorcycle?
Only in the movie, the remake with Joel what's his name? Kinnaman? Kinnaman?
That doesn't matter. Not RoboCop.
The bad RoboCop movie with Michael Keaton and Gary Oldman. And he has a motorcycle on that. He has the regular Ford Taurus. He
has the regular Ford. Yeah, I knew he had that. But I thought in one of the movies he was riding around on a motorcycle or something.
In RoboCop 2, he commandeers a motorcycle and chases
I was gonna say,
after.
I swear I've seen the old RoboCop on a motorcycle.
Yeah, it was in the trailer for RoboCop 2 as well. Remember, the
the
guy's driving over his chest.
The trailer.
He grabs the motorcycle as it's driving over his chest, and the guy goes flying off, and then he gets on it.
Yep. Right. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man 2, it's great.
I've watched the YouTube videos of just like him swinging. People who are really good at swinging.
People that are really good at doing like the swinging, and then they do the cinematic takes on it. That's definitely what you wish you were playing it like.
It always says like no assist, something, and 4K is like, and it looks fucking so good. Yeah. But it also looks hard. I won't be doing that, is what you're saying?
That you won't look like that doing that. You're going to be the guy like running into the side of the buildings while you're swinging, and then like I don't know. They're like, it's really impressive graphically, but at the same time, and like it gets a pass just because it's a huge open world game and it does so much right. There are a lot of like enemies clipping into buildings after you like knock them out. Like we would like punch people and then they'd like get knocked out, and then like they would go through the building and have their legs just like kind of flopping outside of the building, and that type of
Spider-Man hits hard. That's possible.
Right.
He does not pull his punches in this game.
Well, you saw the RoboCop clips I sent you, right? Where I was grabbing the guys and then throwing them through the wall, but the wall, they just clipped through the wall. They didn't actually break the wall. Mm-hmm. Yeah, RoboCop's got a lot of that jank, Euro jank. What else we got here?
I also beat Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Oh, you finished that too?
I finished that too.
How was that?
That is, I talked about it, I think, on the last episode. That is a very good 2D Mario game from start to finish.
So what gets the nod? Super Mario or Spider-Man?
No, we'll find out later this year, I think. Into the year. I got to think about that one some. They're completely different games that are also very similar to their predecessors.
Right.
So Super Mario Wonder, it was a little bit shorter than I thought it was going to be. Like I went through it pretty quickly. I still have to go back and like 100% everything, but that's a good Mario game. I think I read that I think Five Guys made the first Super Mario Brothers.
The hamburger place?
The burger people?
Yeah, the hamburger place. And then I think I read somewhere that 4 out of those original 5 were also involved with this game. So those guys probably should retire at some point. I don't know.
They must be tired.
Right.
Like, these guys need a nap or something.
No, but it's clear. Like, I don't know. Like Mario, it always just feels good while you're playing it. They've never messed up that formula.
I've been playing Berzerk Recharged, which I think comes out soon. I got a review copy of that.
What is that?
Oh, Berzerk Recharged. That's the new Atari.
Yeah.
That's a recharged Atari game.
Berzerk. Got it.
You know, I like the old arcade game. I have the Evil Otto pin on my knapsack, or I had it. It might have fallen off, but I did buy one.
Officially licensed?
I think we got it from the same place. The game is officially licensed for sure. These recharge games, these other ones were good. You telling me?
Yeah, other ones were good.
This one, like, I don't like anything about it. I just
really?
like,
Mm.
you
I
know,
did
like
not play a lot of Berserk.
Yeah, I'm
in
not
my
a
day.
big Berzerk guy.
I mean, it's a really old game where it's just there's not a lot of graphics to it, right? It's mostly black screen with lines, and you know, like what do you call that type of graphics where it's
Vector?
yeah, like it's super simple, right?
This is the one that was kind of like a crappy Robotron, right?
Yes, 100%. Where you're going from screen to screen, and the if you wait too long on the screen, Evil Otto comes, which is a bouncing ball. You can't kill it, and he can bounce and kill you with one shot.
Okay.
I feel like the whole look of this game is wrong. Like I would have went for a minimalist look to look like gone with the same graphic style. Like they just made it look like a cheap video game. I don't know what they were thinking. Even the music is not right. Like I feel like this is for people who don't know what Berzerk is. It made me question your positive reviews of the other recharge games.
They're generally very good.
They generally are.
I
don't. Yeah, I'm looking at screenshots of this one, and this doesn't look like they're.
I'll be honest. They
Their
sent me
best effort.
emails for this one, and I did not ask for this game.
I see. I like Berzerk. I like the arcade. I like the original. It's like it's a cool experience. Like, and it's not this at all. Like the wrong vibe.
They have a
It's the
good
complete
track
wrong vibe.
record. Our friends at Atari, they have a good track record. They can't win them all.
Yeah.
It's probably hard to make all of these games work in this fashion as well.
You
Of
did
course.
see that Atari bought Digital Eclipse since our last show.
Yes.
Mhm.
So maybe those two companies together,
Yes, that's a home run right there.
that is a home run, and B, they could make some really good recharge games.
They could
Those
make a good
who
Berzerk
are
recharge game.
Yeah, because no one does remakes and remasters of little small games better than Digital Eclipse. They make those like museum games, like the Atari 30th Anniversary Edition.
50th.
50th. I'm bad with numbers.
It's okay.
Which was excellent. That I was in my top 5 last year. And they also have the Karateka one that's out now, but it'll be very interesting to see what they do next now that they're part of the Atari family.
I know what I'm going to do next. Fart.
Nice. Lovely.
Did you hear that?
I think so.
I think I heard it in my headphones. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you. I didn't stand up or anything.